O heavens, and you who dwell in them. But woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil has come down to you in great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. So the devil's been cast to this earth, and he knows he's lost. He's failed. He's been defeated. He knows that his time is short. The abyss looms, the fire of the lake of fire where he's going to be cast. The devil knows these things. But instead of surrendering and submitting because of the evil that he is, he now, in his fury, makes war on the rest of her offspring, verse 17, on those who keep the commandments of God and hold to the testimony of Jesus. Evil cannot rest. When Hitler knew he was being defeated, he did not let up on his attacks. He did not let up on his murdering of innocent people, the Jews. He intensified his attacks. He became more vicious, more cruel, more demonic. Evil cannot rest. Well, Jesus, in these visions, he's talking to us. As I'm studying this again, just realizing these are not just portraits we're to look at and admire and say, wow, that's impressive. That's gripping, interesting. This is Jesus speaking to his church. He wants his church to understand our context. We are in the midst of a great cosmic conflict. We are in a battle with the prince of this dark world and the principalities and powers of this evil age. We really are the focus of the devil's fury. It's not hyperbole. It's not just sort of spiritualizing something. It's true. There's a devil who hates you. He is furious at what God has done for you and has planned for you. And in his fury and hatred, he is committed to exercising all of his demonic power to wounding and destroying you, the bride of Christ. It's not hyperbole. This is the way it is. And there should be an appropriate soberness then about us. Not fear, not shrinking back, but a soberness. In 100, 200, 300, 400 years from now, if Christ does not return, when the church looks back on the era of the American church, can we just be honest and acknowledge that they will not say that was a sober bunch of people? They were serious about ultimate eternal realities. You look at the Puritans, right? And you say, now that's a serious bunch. Very serious. Maybe overly serious, right? Some would charge. It's not the charge that we'll receive. I'm talking broadly speaking. It's because we're not really awake to, as a church, broadly speaking, these realities. The devil wants to destroy you. He's committed to destroying you. He wants your children. He wants to destroy the church. And Jesus wants us to be aware and to wake up and to know our enemy. And so Jesus tells us the devil's tools, what the devil uses to work his demonic power in the world. There are two things mentioned in the text: the tool of the weapon of deception and the weapon of accusation. Notice he's called the deceiver of the whole world. 12 and 9, verse 9 of chapter 12. He's the deceiver. How does he come to Eve? He doesn't threaten her. He doesn't hold a gun to her head. He speaks what seem to be wise words. He seems to be on her side. He seems to be interested in her flourishing, in her good, her joy. And then in his kindness, he points to the fruit, and it is good-looking fruit. And he asks Eve to observe the good-looking fruit and to consider the good benefits that would come from eating the fruit. And the woman was deceived. She believed what he was saying. We're going to see in chapter 13 that the beast from the earth, who is in chapter 19 called the false prophet, that he works his power through deception. He looks like a lamb and talks like a dragon. We'll look at that, Lord willing, 2 weeks from now. And so the devil, you see, deceives Eve, convincing her that God is opposed to her ultimate happiness and joy. And it's exactly what he's doing for every person born since. Isn't it amazing? Every person born has this twisted, bent conviction that the living God is the enemy of our joy, and that life will be found in following our desires, our passions, and doing it our way. We're convinced of this from birth. No one had to teach it to us. We've been deceived.